Eli Drinkwitz,
Hmm.
fourth year here, 17 and 19. He's slacking a little. 14 and 5 at home is respectable. 3 and 12 away. I'm gonna fade this guy on the road. He's 3 and 12 away. That's ridiculous. But 7 on offense, 8 on defense in his fourth year. That's always something that I've always, we know from all these shows with me. Fourth year coaches, I love those, especially when they prepared. 7 on offense, 8 on defense. All of those are probably recruited by him, brought in by him, trained by him, and everything. And he has 11 transfers on top of that. And it's tough to play at Missouri for some odd reason for a lot of teams. So he has that as part of his advantage. He's opening up to a new offensive coordinator, Kirby Moore. After looking at this whole thing in a nutshell, this team is basically a Sun Belt and Mountain West mixture of coaches playing in the SEC. So it's kind of like the best they can bring from the smaller conferences over into the SEC, and they do a decent job at it. What you think about Eli?
That's a great analogy. That's a perfect analogy on that team. As far as the staff goes and what they're trying to accomplish. But what they did do last year. I mean, their defense was pretty good. They had some quality wins, albeit they beat Vandy, South Carolina, in conference, and Arkansas were their 3 wins. And then they had 2 out of conference wins with Louisiana Tech and Abilene Christian and New Mexico State. So they did muster 6 wins up last season. And like I say, three of those wins, South Carolina, but 2, and that Gamecocks was on the road. So, but anyways, yeah, they're going to have to figure some things out on the offensive side. And I don't know if they're as talented. Obviously, they're not as talented as the bigger schools or the higher ranked schools. But defensively, they're up to the task, I think. So I think if they take a little small step forward, I'd be interested in maybe looking at their win total. I'm sure it's set pretty low, but I think you're going to have to coach these kids up to compete, with higher recruited level type kids, but not knocking Missouri because like I said, they compete, they play. And Drinkwitz is a quality coach too. We've seen what he's done at the lower levels. He's up against it at these with the bigger name schools, but they'll compete. They'll probably get 5-6 wins again this season, maybe 7. Who knows? But they're going to need a little help there. But they did get help last year in those 2 wins with South Carolina and Arkansas. So if they achieve that again, if they get 6 wins, I'd be surprised. I probably got them pegged for 5 W's this year.
I got them painted for more than that. I'll show you when we go over the schedule. But let's take a quick look at that offense right there. Last year, 84 in points per game, 64 in rush, 93 in pass. Obviously need improvement at every level. They have Brady Cook there. Cook doesn't have it locked in, though. They brought in some guys to compete against him, so you could see him moving around in some quarterback spot. The running back situation is not – it's going to be by committee. It's no solid star out of there. And the wide receivers, they have a lot of experience over there and a lot of depth. But this offense is truly going to rely on breakout players. Like, we need somebody to come and show that they're going to be the top running back or wide receiver in the conference or something like that in order for this offense to flourish. But over to the defense. The defense was a lot better last year. Number 54 in points per game, number 31 against the run, number 43 against the pass. And a lot of those guys are coming back, 7 and 8 on defense. So a lot of those guys coming back, they're getting bigger, stronger. They're all way more experienced. And I think they got a good shot at beating some teams that, down the stretch there, just off of the continuity of them being together.
Yeah, you know what? Now I'm looking at the schedule. I might have to agree with you a little bit now. I started looking at the schedule. I'm like, wait a minute now. Let me pull back my punch here a little bit. But we'll see what that number is when you bring it up. But yeah, I agree. The defense is they touted good numbers. FBS numbers. You got 130 squads, and they're like in the 30s and the 40s. Pass and rush, and and that's good. You know, there's a lot of good top tier. There's a lot of good offenses out there in college football, and this team kind of competes on the defensive side. So if they make a slight improvement on the offense, you know, that might give them that extra win to kind of get over the hump there. But they're going to figure some things out, and they got transfers, you know, on the linebackers and the D-backs and stuff like that. But we'll see how it pans out on the offense here for the Mizzou Tigers.
Yeah, so let's go through that over 6 games right here. So we got first 4 games are at home, starting with South Dakota, Middle Tennessee, who could be tough, Kansas State, who could be tough as well, but they definitely are equipped to beat those teams, a Memphis team, and then Vanderbilt. They could easily be 6-0 or 5-1 just coming out of that. They come out, they could lose to LSU, but they still got a chance against South Carolina. They could lose to Georgia. They could lose to Tennessee. They may have a chance against Florida. And what's that at the end? What's that last game? I can't see that.
Arkansas.
There goes your 7th or 8th win right there with Arkansas itself. So this team's going to come out. Another team you might want to bet on into the 5th game. And then after Vanderbilt, we got to bet against them. But I think their win total is 6.5. Previously, I looked at it and I felt like you, Big Ragu. I was at under 6.5. But as I cap deeper into this, I think you could get some money on the plus side, taking over 6.5. If you want to take a nice risky future, Missouri might be your team to take it. They've also been known to play very well at home. So there you go right there.
Well, they did have a pretty good the key game, I think, early on for them. Once they get past South Dakota, Middle Tennessee, this Kansas State game, they played them last year, and they had won like 5 in a row, and then Kansas State beat them like 40-12 in Kansas in Manhattan. So now they're playing at home, and they've won like 13 straight non-conference games at home. So there you go.
Yep. Well, let's get up out of here and take another trip. We're down to our last 2 teams. We're barely under 2 hours. We're doing great. We thank everybody for hanging in there and listening to us. Like I said, it's going to be cut up, so you guys can go back and look at it piece by piece. I think we got some great information right here. I don't think nobody covered it as plain and simple as the boss and the sauce did so far with the SEC this year. So let's jump into this other team.